Beleza, tá tudo configurado. I'm sorry, we're all set. Everything's set up. I hope the volume levels are alright, and let's get going. So, we are streaming Parasite Eve 1 for your enjoyment. And now, I'm just gonna activate the record mode. God damn it. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we are properly live. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to reset the game. Because I named my character Aya. And this will probably be our second to last stream this year. So how are you guys doing? Got myself a brand new gaming chair. I am in heaven. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Yes, we are recording, so let's go. And this is going to be a fresh new run. This is so nostalgic, man, and nostalgia is a word I seldomly use. There we go. And for those of you watching, I did you guys one better. Because you see, the game as it isn't exactly in full screen. Some parts are cut. But I edited everything, I edited everything on OBS, so you get a full screen experience. Okay, first name is clearly going to be Aya. I don't think I can change her last name. Nope, Aya Brown it is. I was going to call her Aya Belmont. I don't know, you're right, I'll try to have more fun. And I hope the volume levels are okay. Now let me know if you guys can hear everything. Aren't you glad you decided to go out with me? I even had my dad get the best seats for us tonight. So line up. We're going to have a great time. You see. I don't know your name, but you won't have a great time. You're going to burn. Literally, you're gonna burn. Oops, just fucked up. There we go. This is one of the greatest games ever. Not only on the PlayStation 1 of the greatest games ever. And also, this was the game that made me fall in love with Yoko Shimomura, the composer. Father, please give me permission to marry Eva. I sound like Solid Snake trying to read a play. I forbid it! You know well what will happen if you do. Those who succumb to her beauty all die in horrible ways. You don't understand. She is the one that has suffered after the deaths. She is evil. Guard, grab her, and burn her at the stake. Father! If you are sentencing her to death, then I ask you to take my life along with hers. Edward. And then she begins singing, for some reason. You know, I watched an opera just a month ago. It was a modern day adaptation of Dante's Inferno, you know, one of the circles. Really, really good. It was in Italian. Amazing piece of art. Amazing. Oh shit. Here we go again. You know, if this wouldn't demonetize my channel, then I'd pick up my guitar right now and play Burn by Deep Purple, solo and everything. What a scorching hot performance! Blazing hot. The audience is on fire. Oh my god. Okay, last one. Melissa Pierce set Carnegie Hall ablaze with that performance. Jesus, I don't want to. Oh my god, go, get out of here now. Aya has a deeper voice than you would imagine. I'm sorry to break it to you. So how are you guys doing tonight? I'm doing amazing. Just got this brand new gaming chair, and it feels like I've died and gone to heaven. It's amazing. Freeze! NYPD! You're the only one who seems to be fine. What? You should be awakening soon. What are you talking about? Listen, your cells are trying to communicate. They are calling out. Otacon! Metal Gear! What's happening? My body, it's getting hot. Just as I thought. What is this? What did you do to me? You mean to tell me you have access to this? You're in charge of this op, but don't have access to the complete file? Don't lie to me. Dude, David Hayter is such a badass. And I don't think I've ever met a single person who's ever lost this battle, really. Oh, a message from Chico. Yo, Chico, what's up? Glad you're here, my brother. Glad you're here. And we will be streaming like until we beat disc one at least. So, yeah, we're gonna be here a long time. And thanks for dropping by. The more you use that power, the more you'll become like me. Power? What power? Who are you? Eve. Eve. I'm surprised you don't know me, Aya. You should know me well. What? And Chico, listen, man, I know you cannot reply, but I went out today and I happened upon a computer hardware store and they had gaming chairs. I was delaying buying it, but I bought it and oh my god, I died and went to heaven. What? What is this? What? What was that? Wait, where are you going? I'm not through with you yet. Yeah, I barked that line. And in here we have two options. We can drop straight down, or, if you're not feeling very confident, then check this out. As soon as you examine the giant hole in the backstage, I know she's down there. You're gonna hear the police coming. And if you head back outside, then what's gonna happen is you'll be able to pick up some ammunition from one of the cops. Sounds like my backup has arrived. And usually I just gun it, but since I'm recording footage for the review, I'm doubling it. I'm double dipping. I'm leaving a let's play for you guys because you guys rock, and you really do. And I'm also recording stuff. So, I usually just go straight down, and destroy everything. But I'm gonna need this footage. So yeah, we're gonna take this way. And Parasite Eve 1. It's very cinematic, it was very bold, it was very daring in the way it did things. Because there will be many cutscenes. Actually, not cutscenes. Well, I take those game scenes, this game as a giant cutscene in a way. And, see? You hear the cops. Wait, I'm cop. I'm with the NYPD. And, you have moments where you're just walking. Okay, huge moments of silence, and the camera's very far, and you're walking. It's really beautiful. Pretty bold move for the time. We're talking about 1998. Everyone's gotten burned. A lot of them. Probably won't make it. Yeah, it was a fat cop. Hey, I got the same gun. I've got bullets for that if you want. Yes? And I think you can get like 60. And then, sorry, but I'm out. And I can't give you the ones I have in my gun. He was more than generous already. And I'm chewing on some peanuts, so you guys let me know if you can actually listen to it. If it turns into some creepy ASMR. I don't want that. And she has an M84F. I know she's down there. Jump down. Alright, let's do her. Are you alone? It's dangerous here. You should go. That girl. It couldn't be. Otacon, I'm hallucinating. The Patriot. And I also love the way they turn, everyday places like the backstage, the dressing rooms from Carnegie Hall into dungeons. This was brilliant, and honestly, man, we need more JRPGs set in modern times. Like yesterday, Stat. So this was actually, yeah, it was probably the second most impactful game I've ever played on the PlayStation 1. Now, you know what? Let me rectify that. It was the most impactful game I've ever played on the PlayStation 1. It wasn't my favorite, but it was the most impactful. Yep. There we go. Everything was so well implemented in this game, from long-range combat to spells to leveling up. It's a really streamlined RPG. And the gear you get is modern gear. Jesus, did Eve do that to the rat? What's going on here? Yeah, I think this is, yes, this is the locker. No, you're still alive. Hold on. Let me call the paramedics. Dr. Clark. Melissa, she's a monster. Don't try to talk now. Melissa. Melissa, you mean the main actress? She's probably got Suzanne too. You have to stop her. No, please, wake up. Hang in there. And he's out. And another great thing about Parasite Eve is that, oh, another battle. I'll explain the battle in Parasite Eve in a moment. Angelo, hello. You seem to have a picture of Maria. And one of the great things about Parasite Eve is the fact that the soundtrack also reflects modern times. You get, I think actually I don't think I know that to write the soundtrack, Yoko Shimomura went to some nightclubs in the US, just so she could get a clear picture, she could get a good feel for what the soundtrack should sound like. Scare moment. This actually scared me the first time I played the game. Well, okay, I can see what you mean. Angelo, how's the volume? The mix between my voice and the game. Is it good? I'd better notify the department about what's happened here. Will you save your progress? Yes. When you are on the X round, if you beat the days without saving, you get like mad BP. Mad BPs, which are bonus points. And one of oh fuck, lost some peanut. And one of the reasons why I love this game so much is because it feels like I'm playing a movie on the PlayStation 1. And you know, in a way, I'm kind of sad that Parasite Eve 2, which is a game I absolutely adore, deviated itself from urban areas. You know, you play in the fucking desert. You know. It makes sense because after all, you're going after a shelter which has a hidden laboratory in it. But I don't know. I think I'm much more of a modern time man than fantasy world guy. So, motherfucker, do I look like a thief to you? Really? You're the one that scared me, lady. I was just getting ready. Oh, you're gonna burn. You won't be seeing anyone. Oh, you have to walk, and then he burns. And about the boss battles in Parasite Eve 1, in case you've never played it, here's how it works. Whenever you reach certain places in the game, for the very first time that a battle is supposed to take place at them, that battle will always happen. You know, it's non-negotiable, it will always happen. But whenever you start getting back to those places, you know, you leave and then return to them, what happens is you're going to start getting, you're going to start depending on an RNG generator. Now you may think, well, this is good, so you don't have to fight every single time. Yes and no, because you know it's good in a sense that it makes the game much more dynamic, and this really isn't a game about grinding for levels. But if you decide to do so, if you decide to grind, then you know you're going to have a hard time. Eventually you're going to start having a hard time, especially if you decide to grind on a single playthrough. You know, if you want to get like the liberation spell, you probably get it by the time you reach the museum. And even so, you know, you're going to grind like a son of a bitch. And having to go back and forth without actually you know, getting into battles can become quite boring. So, my recommendation, if you should wish to grind in this game, put on some music, you know, just walk back and forth, and that's it. No, I think it was here already. Yep. Yes, they are. They're very good for the time. See, now I'm not getting the battle. So if I want to battle here, I need to exit and return. Oh, here's the game. And the game is split in days. I think there are 7 days in total. See? Battle. And this is one other thing that made Parasite Eve such a streamlined and enjoyable experience, because you don't really have to grind a whole lot in this game. So it really feels like you're playing a longer movie. PlayStation 1, Angelo. I am playing on the PS3. God, I have so many PlayStation 1 games on the PS3. And if I manage to hack this bad boy, then I'll have a whole lot more. And here's where we're gonna have another mandatory battle. God, I love this chair so much. So much. And you can see that this game still uses the ATB, which is Active Time Battle. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I guess that's it. Which came from Final Fantasy VI. See, whenever you level up, you get stat increases as usual, and then at certain levels, at fixed levels, you get spells. And also, this game doesn't have any shops whatsoever. The second one does, but the first one, no. So all the items you'll be getting will be straight from enemies and treasure chests, drawers, freezers, and places like that at fixed locations. So now that I've opened this door, yeah. Nope. And another thing, should you guys ever wish to play this game, because I know a lot of you haven't. And, let me reload. Hang on just a second. I'm sorry, where were we? I heard my cats fighting and I had to break it up. And, as I was saying, a lot of you don't know this, but you will be picking up, you can see here, defense 1, you're gonna get attack +1, range +1, so on and so forth. But there's a trick to this. If I can somehow get you to play this game, which will make me very happy, believe me, then, first tip I'm gonna leave right now. Don't use those items right away. Save them. Okay? Eventually you will get back to the police station, which is your main hub, and you have the possibility to store items. So save those items for much later in the game. I think I'll be able to explain it to you on the second day or the third one. The reason for this. And once we open this wardrobe. Oh my god, it's the Patriots! Oh god, the nanomachines. And this game also has one more feature that made it very unique, and that is that since you are able to move in combat, and you'll be fighting at very many different locations. You'll be going through parks, the sewers, the streets, and a few other places I don't want to spoil right now. Then you're gonna have to adapt because you won't always get to fight with a lot of freedom. Sometimes you're gonna fight in very enclosed spaces. You barely get any room to move. This game, I'm all praises for this game. Okay, it's a 10 out of 10. I will be reviewing it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, 10 out of 10. Angelo, do so. And I find it funny. Funny, but in a cool way. Because I've been playing those games like forever. I think I played the first Parasite Eve when I was like 14 years old. Okay? And I think this was around the same time Xenogears 1 came out. And, it's been 23 years. Okay, many of you weren't even born then. And it's pretty funny to me because they're just games that I've known for the longest time. But I've seen so many of you come to me, even on my Instagram before I became a YouTuber, saying, "Hey man, I got to learn about this game from you. I'm so excited. I want to play it." And it's just awesome. Showing you guys the good stuff from the past. It's awesome. This was originally this was the original idea for my channel. Way back when. And here's another trick for you. You see, what governs your MP restoration is something called... Yes, I think it's Parasite Energy. And the thing is, as time goes by, your MP will regenerate by itself during battle. But if you use, if the battle begins dragging on for too long, if you use way too many spells, what's going to happen is eventually, as I was saying, what's going to happen is that eventually your MP will begin regenerating like shit, way too slowly. So the trick for this, to counter this, dude, you're born into 2006. You're very young. And so you're like 15 years old. I began playing guitar when I was 16. And so the trick to counterbalance this is always keep 2 vests. Because, as soon as your MP regeneration rate begins slowing down, switch the vest you currently have equipped, and what that's gonna do is gonna reset your Parasite Energy restoration rate. So it's also gonna be resetting your speed. So here's one for you. The only bad thing I have to say about this game, which isn't really a bad thing, is about Aya herself. She won't reload her weapon when combat ends. And she's a fucking cop. And what I also love about this game, you're gonna hear me saying this a lot in this stream. What I also love about this game is that it's a very horror-oriented RPG. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to oversell you things. Such as this diary entry. Check it out. It's about Melissa. A diary. November 3rd, Monday. The Christmas show is set. This has been my dream. The main actress has a solo concert at a theater in the Central Park. I took all of the medication to get here. I have to get the lead part. I'll even sell my soul to the devil if I have to. And then it proceeds. November the 17th, another Monday. The cast was announced and Suzanne and I are double cast. And if you don't know what double cast is, that's basically 2 actors who play the same role. They'll usually switch in between days. I know that because I have been an actor. And I have been double cast in the past. I hated it, but, I did. Okay, I did. I want to play the part alone. Yes, I am Melissa Pierce. Except for the fact that I haven't gone insane yet. But everyone knows she's good. November the 21st, Friday. I think I'm overdoing it. My body is getting hotter than ever for some reason. I better take more medicine. December 6th, Saturday. I collapsed today. I lost consciousness after my body got hot. I don't care if I die, I just want to get through with this show. December 10th, Wednesday. I passed out again. They told me to go to the doctor and get some rest. If this continues, Suzanne will definitely take my part. I need to get better. I'd better take a lot of medication tonight. And this is I'm going to say beautiful in a horrific way, insight into Melissa. She was insane. December 11th, Thursday. Suzanne was burned in an apartment fire. Is it because I wanted to part so bad? God, forgive me. December 17th, Wednesday. It looks like I'll be the lead, and I'd better take more medication and work it. December 23rd, Tuesday. Opening night. Everything went smoothly. Yeah, a lot of people burned, really. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. We should have the biggest crowd of the season. And I had the solo concert the next day at the park. Yeah, that's not going to turn out very well for the audience. But I'm not feeling well. I'd better shape up if I want to get through this. I'd better take more medication. For what? Why is she taking so much? She must have a drug problem. Another key. Your inventory is full. Okay, let me unload some stuff. I don't think she was struggling with depression. I don't think depression was her case. You know, Melissa's seen more like an out-of-control person than someone suffering from depression. And this is something else that I absolutely adore in this game because it's an RPG, it has horror elements, it's set in the modern times, and it has heavy stuff. Okay, this is someone who clearly had a substance abuse problem. She had severe mental issues. And it's shown, it's right here. Usually what you get with JRPGs, and I love them, but it's more... it's not so down to earth. It's not so realistic. The villain's motivations are always something that we could never truly grasp because, nothing of that would ever happen in our society. But in here, no, we see a woman who was way out there. She went out and never came back. That's awesome. Let's see if I can score another battle. Nope. But you know what? I need 3 more experience points, so I'm going to head over to a place I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch a battle. And this capture card that I bought was one of the best investments I've ever made my entire life. I paid dirt cheap for it, and I'm looking on my monitor right now, and it's perfect. Really good. And one more thing, you can also change targets between shots. So one for one rat, and the second one for the other one. I shouldn't really have done this, but I wanted to show you this mechanics. And there goes the bird. And you can spend your bonus points at every 100 points. You can invest them in your base stats. You can invest in weapons and, pieces of armor. It's everything goes. Dude, it's one of the best soundtracks you'll ever hear. I doubled down on it. It's one of the best. And if you really like this, then the composer's name is Yoko Shimomura. I cannot write it on the chat because I have to make some sacrifices whenever I'm streaming. and the keyboard is one of the items that goes. But look for Yoko. It's YOKO SHIMU. No, MOMURA. Yeah. She's one of my top composers. You know, they're all Japanese. My favorite game composers. We have Yasunori Mitsuda. We have Daisuke Ishwatari. I don't know how far he writes the songs for Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, but you know he's way up there. Yoko Shimomura, Michiru Yamane, and of course the Grand Master Yuzo Koshiro. And here we can see that the Eve's cells within Melissa are beginning to take over. She's losing it. You know, she wasn't very stable, very mentally stable to begin with. But now with this infestation, she's trying to hang on, but no. No, she's, I'm Melissa, I'm Melissa. No, I'm Eve. And those cutscenes were state of the art back then. State of the art thing, you know. And this is actually the very first battle you can die in this game if you're not careful. Maki, then, if you have the time, please make yourself comfortable and join us on this live stream because this is one of the best PlayStation 1 games ever. And, you know, overall, one of the best games of all time. It's basically a JRPG with horror elements set in modern times. My cup of tea. And what I love so much about Yoko Shimomura's work on the soundtrack is that it's absolutely dramatic. Unapologetically dramatic. I'm not going to say any, Angelo, but yeah, a lot of them. So that's it for this boss battle. Looks like you still need some time, little girl. Until your mitochondria is completely free. And listen, if you join me on this stream or play this game later by yourself or both, then you're gonna see something that's kind of funny in Parasite Eve 1. They will sometimes emphasize the wrong words in a sentence. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of this. Like she said, I don't understand you. No, it should have been, I don't understand you. But they emphasized you. You know, and that's ridiculous. Where's this? Is that the little girl I saw? No, it's the Patriots. Otacon. And there goes my last peanut. Hey Angelo, can you hear me chewing on my peanuts? I hope not. And I'll do you one better. I was going to mention this on my review, my special video about Parasite Eve, which drops, I'm not sure if on the 23rd or 24th of December, in a couple of days. But this game actually derives from both a book and a movie by the same name. You know, it's weird. It's some really weird shit, so check it out. Okay, thanks, Angelo. And this is one of the, I'm gonna say, most iconic battles of all time because it was burned into my mind. I don't know why. It's the next one. And I just remembered why. And this game has, I'm gonna say, 0 side quests. Actually, it has one side quest. It's this battle that was etched into my mind. It was exactly this one. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Well, first, as I've mentioned, this game happens in the modern days. And second, back then, playing on my 14-inch television, the graphics, they looked so amazing, they looked so good, the enemy models looked amazing, Aya's model looked amazing, and then you had the soundtrack, the sound effects. It was, state of the art. So what I'm going to do here is, this battle is about to end, but I'm going to heal first. And by the way, whenever you use a spell, time will freeze. You become Dio, basically. So I decided to use a spell now to kick my MP regeneration while still in this battle. But yeah, Angelo, this wasn't exactly the case of a janky translation. It was a janky... I'm not even going to say janky, it was a very strange case of emphasis and wording. And here we're going to get our second pistol, which is a 3-shot pistol. I'm just burn through one of them. M1911 45, timeless classic, tried and true. Can't go wrong with a 45. Can't go wrong with a 1911. And there's actually a secret battle coming on. Once you're done here, you're gonna get 2 revives. 1. And listen, I don't care what you do in your playthrough, right? You can discard everything, but never, ever, under absolutely no circumstance, discard a revive medicine. And since, you spend the entirety of the game fighting by yourself, you can pretty much guess how this kicks in. Automatically. You die, it brings you back up. So, unless you're saving them for a very specific boss fight, let's say for the Chrysler Building. Yes, the Chrysler Building. Then always have at least one with you. You're the little girl I saw at the theater. Are you lost? Motherfucker, she's a phantom! Ever seen Lost Phantoms? Castlevania 2, timeless classic! Oh, Maki translations back then? No. So we have some secret items coming along. And since I know everything about this game, because I've played it so much, then this playthrough will also serve as a type of guide. I think the best localization ever would have to be Double Dragons. Bimmy and Jimmy. I never played Metal Gear on the NES. And speaking of which, oh, I so want to stream Metal Gear for you guys. You have no idea. And listen, if any of you is new here, then first, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here, really. And second, subscribe, share this video, share this channel with your friends, because I really want to make it big so I can bring more content to people. Alright? It's not just for the money. I know a lot of people say this, and trust me, I want the money. But I want to reach people. That's the main goal. If I've played Xenogears, well, I'll do you one better. Does this answer your question? Yeah, he's all dirty. I need to clean up. Yeah, there we go. I think you can see it now. If I've played Xenogears. Xenogears is the ultimate JRPG. For me, it's the ultimate JRPG. It's actually one of the very few games I make a point of beating every 5 years. And now you may ask yourself, why? You see, Xenogears has such a deep and mature story and mature characters that every time I go back to it, it's not like Final Fantasy 4, 5, or other simpler games. Xenogears is so deep, has such philosophical questions, that every time I return to it, I see things under a different prism because I've lived a lot of things. I've matured many things. I've discarded many thoughts and ideas. So I'm always seeing something new in that game. So every 5 years, I beat it. And I think it's been like 7 the last time I beat it. So not exactly every 5 years. I think it's a Medicine 3. No. 1 for 1. And Maki, what's your favorite gear? Not Omni gear, standard gear. Right? I mean, come on, man. Really, to this day, I think that Xenogears' story is undefeated. Absolutely undefeated. What's Xenogears about, dude? There's no easy answer to this, really. Really, it's about philosophy, it's about Religion is about dogma, about indoctrination. It's about schizophrenia. It's about personality disorders. It's, I think it's the epitome of a JRPG. And Fate, the leading character, is actually schizophrenic. He is. Hold it right there. My body's getting hot again. Oh my. I mean, nowadays you can play it on any phone, you know. And since this is a JRPG that doesn't really require precision and speed in terms of input, it's more than manageable. Yes, yes, Maki, it does. And hey, if you haven't subscribed already, then join us, man. We Xenogears fans need to stick together. And you still haven't answered me. What's your favorite gear? Regular one. Yeah, you're full of shit. Awaken my ass. Another brilliant cutscene and one of the best boss battle themes you'll ever hear in your life. It's violent, it's dense, it's tense, it's vicious. Really, Yoko Shimomura, she's one of the, you know, I was gonna say one of the kings, but she's a queen. And this scene is very misleading because you can see from, you know, the size of this corridor and the size of Thief. Well, this is going to be a small alligator. Check this out. You know, he seems human-sized, right? Eve was bigger than him. No, it's a huge motherfucker. So first up, I need to hit his tail. You know, the hitbox of those shockwaves is almost as shitty as, you know, every single box in Blasphemous. And I managed to dodge one of them. That was good. Miraculous even. So, I assume you understand Japanese. Oh, the video on Legion. Dude, I'm so proud of that video. I'm so proud of it. You know, that's one of the reasons why I want more people to subscribe, because I want to bring you guys more content like that. Oh, fuck. Saw this. Naruhodo. So now we have the slow power. And we got another vest. And that is it for day one. You guys are gonna love this. It's something everyone has ever wanted to do with someone, and Daniel, our partner, is gonna do it. Watch this. Do not avert your eyes. We're live in front of Carnegie Hall, which has become a scene of complete chaos. Yes, you're the sole survivor of this horrible ordeal. Correct. Give her some fucking space. Until now, this combustion theory has been acknowledged only by occult enthusiasts. Please, just leave me alone. And then comes the hero. This incident happened to take place on Christmas Eve of all nights. I would like to represent the citizens of the city and interview you exclusively. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you so much. You live in Tokyo. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I don't exactly speak Japanese. I know a few things. I can read and write fluently in katakana. I learned it playing Xenogears. I learned katakana playing Xenogears. Okay, so Angelo decided to speak alien language. Is it from Mars? Sorry, I'm late, Aya. You live in Turkey! Dude, I translated a Turkish soap opera. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It had one of the best actors I've ever seen. It was called Parampartia or something like that. Maybe you've heard of it. It was an amazing soap opera. Amazing. I did I think I did 30 or 40 episodes of it. Really good. Maki, I'm glad you're here, man. You're a cool person. And FYI, I think tonight I'm gonna be sleeping on my chair because it's one of the most comfortable places I've ever been in. Just a second. I mean, okay, so as the story unfolds, I'm gonna try and look up the actor's name. Because, we can't let the stream stop, otherwise people leave, but, you know what? One of these days, I'm actually gonna break my phone. And there, we have the classic buddy cop narrative. Daniel is the good-hearted but hard-boiled cop, and Ayabrea is the broody and also hard-boiled cop. Oh, one person left. Oh, Parampartia. Okay. Let me see if I can find the actor's name. Baris Falay. Yes, I'm sorry, my Turkish is very bad, but his name is Baris Falay. Here he is. You know, one of the greatest actors I have ever seen. There's this episode in which he is arguing with his aunt. You know, he's a fucking criminal, but he's arguing with his aunt. And I have never seen someone as angry as he was in that scene. I've never seen anyone pull anger so perfectly. It was even scary. Dude, this guy's a monster of an actor. He's amazing. You know, he's not the most famous one. The most famous one I believe to be... I'm sorry, I'm not Turkish, so I know I have very little grounds to say this, but... It's called Erkan Petekaya. You know, I read that he's one of the most favorite Turkish actors out there. Who would have thought that I would be discussing one of my favorite gigs as a translator, which was a Turkish soap opera, on stream? Who'd have thought? God, man, life is so full of surprises. So, what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to stop recording, not streaming, recording. And then start over. You know, so I can separate the videos in days. It's a lot easier. But you know what? That soap opera had an amazing cast. An amazing cast. They were all high-level actors. And there was also this actress called Alina Boss. Jesus Christ. You know, she's so beautiful it should be fucking illegal. I'll just say that. And here is where things will kind of begin going to shit. Because, you know, this was an incident, but set in modern times. And it wasn't, you know, an isolated kingdom that burned down or some shit like that. No, it was an incident that was televised. So now the NYPD will have to deal with it. So now we'll be getting our very first assault rifle, if I'm not mistaken. I read a report. Still hard to believe, but we cannot deny all those deaths. We're going to go all out to solve this case. Make sure you're well equipped. Yeah, listen, I'd like to read every single line of this game, but if I do so, I'm going to take way too much time to beat it. So, you know, I'm going to try and leave it on screen just enough so you can all read it. So I'm going to leave my M84F. Move. And oh yeah, you need to take a club. You cannot discard clubs. I think this was the first vest I had. Yeah, that's it. A question: what's my favorite flavor of Monster? I don't drink it. You know, I think they all taste horrible. I've drank like 3 in my entire life, so you know, I only drink them as fuel. But I could be mistaken. I drank 3 types. You know, there's probably a lot more of them. And I love this song so much. You know, it's so chill, so chill. And another very important thing I love about this game is that it hits the ground running. You know, you don't get an overly long introduction. What you see is the first chapter, which, while it is an introduction, it doesn't feel pedantic, it doesn't feel condescending. Now we will see, you know, the comic relief of the game. Hey there, good looking. Cut the crap, Wayne. Where's Taurus? That body? Who knows? So what'll it be? Shotgun, rocket launcher? Wayne. And Angelo, can you hear anything coming from my microphone besides my voice? Any sort of noise, like from a fan, for example? All right, that's good because I have my fan turned on and it's one noisy motherfucker. But OBS has some audio filters, so I guess the noise is being cut out. And Taurus is gonna suffer a very tragic fate. It actually made me sad. All right, our M16. Thank you. Wouldn't ask anything for anything else. Well, maybe an N4, but then again, this is like in 1998. Oh, even better. Even better, Angelo. Thank you. No, I'm gonna leave. You know, all those offense buffs and pretty much every single buff, I'm gonna stash. I'll only make use of them, you know, around day 5 or 6, which we'll probably get to tonight. This stream is gonna go for a long time. And you know, I like Wayne. I've always been the kind of guy who would, you know, oh, here's something. It's in perfectly working order. Well, I cannot leave it alone. I must mod it. You know, I've done this with many of my guitars. I broke plenty of toys when I was a kid because I wanted to take them apart so I could know how they'd work. And I did. But, you know, putting them back together, I wasn't exactly good at that. So I'm going to store. Okay. And oh yeah, you cannot discard keys in this game. But, you know, design oversight. But, oh, Maki, you're still there. Made me happy. And, but you can store them. You know, still on the taking things apart story. Fuck, I must have been like 6 years old. And I remember that I had this small, cheap plastic car. And I was always looking out for ways of making my things look cooler. And by the way, Maki, you live in Japan, so. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the easiest one. Gundam. Huge fan here. Huge fan. And, yeah, I'm kind of stupid at centering things. Oh, here we go. And this is Gundam Raphael. And yes, I bought him because we share the same name. And as I was saying, I had this cheap plastic car. I still remember it was yellow on the bottom and white on the top of it. And it was cheap. It was hollow, but I didn't know that. And I thought, well, you know, it would be pretty cool if I could make it so that the engine cover would pop out. So I took a knife and I cut it open. But it was cheap plastic. It didn't have any hinges. So, I bent the plastic, thinking, in my twisted little mind that, okay, it's going to return to place. It didn't. One toy car less in the world. But, I had a lot of fun. That's how I was. And the difference now is that the toys they became more expensive, but the spirit is still the same. Okay, Angelo. So I'm gonna go with the M16 mainly for its range. Not exactly because of its attack, which is also higher, but it's its range I'm interested in. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think I need anything else right now. So yeah, we're good. And Maki, if you don't mind me asking, what's the state of Microsoft in Japan? I mean, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, something X Turbo Edition. Uh, from what I've last read, the Japanese don't really took to Microsoft consoles. Mostly. You also get tonfas, but there are no sidearm. Not even sidearms. There are less resorts. Well, you also do get a rocket launcher, but mostly firearms. You know what? I'm gonna find this game's soundtrack, rip it, and then put it on my car so I can listen to it as I drive. I live by the sea, and this soundtrack is perfect to listen while driving by the seaside. uh, if they were. Daddy! And another thing that stuck out in Parasite Eve, remember this was 1998, was the. I don't know if this was motion capture, but if it wasn't, then it was really well done by hand. It was really convincing for the time. And here we can see, I'm not going to say dilemma because your son's never going to be a dilemma for you, but the hardships of being a police officer and a father, a single father. So, let's go. Well, that's good to hear. And listen, I'm not gonna give you guys my personal information, like full name, address, whatever. But I come from part of my family is Japanese, you know, and I've had contact with the Japanese side of the family for the longest time. So I grew up in this culture. It was amazing. And here we can see some drama. You know, Daniel fought for Ben's custody with Lorraine, and he won. Which, you know, begs the question: if a cop won his son's custody in court, what was his mother like? Well, Angelo, that's certainly a point, but oh my God, there's certainly a point, but it's more because of a privacy thing. You know, one of the mistakes people will commit, especially when they begin getting some traction, when they begin getting famous or whatever, is that they'll begin oversharing things about their lives, and that's the last thing you see me doing. You know. No, I want to be famous. I really, really, really want to be famous, but always still maintaining my privacy. You know, I'm not gonna overshare. Not never gonna overshare. The way I see fame is people become famous for their job, for their work, like a musician, an actor, or something. Whatever they choose to share, beyond their work, should be taken as a privilege. You know, the privilege of someone allowing you into their lives. You know, this isn't something you demand from people. And you know, in the game, back to the game, this is where shit's gonna hit the storm. So now Baker and Aya, they'll have to deal with the shitstorm that's gonna come from the press. After all, the Carnegie Hall was burned down and people died, and she was the only survivor. So, you know, the reporters are gonna come in hard. Hmm. I see. I see. How long did it take you to learn Japanese? Because you know that's one of the things I've been putting off for a long time. And here is where Aya is gonna speak when she should have kept quiet. So here's the question: then how did Detective Brea survive with so much as a minor burn? Which is a fucking vicious question from a reporter. You know, he's insinuating something. He's fishing for anything. I hate reporters. So, you know, Baker's gonna try and give this one a birth by saying that is the result of her quick thinking and training as an officer. Then there's the rebuttal. I'm asking her the question, and Aya is gonna fuck everything up. You went to school full time, 2 years, and that was good enough. She said that my mitochondria were a mutation. And then Baker's gonna try and stop her. Aya, you know, shut up! You're a mitochondria? Who said this? Melissa, no, she said she was Eve. But according to a report, Melissa Pierce was killed in a fire. Melissa did die. Her body had been taken over by this Eve. Of course, everyone is gonna believe this. This is awesome. What's this Eve? Some sort of alien? Motherfucker, you're a reporter. And you ask about aliens? Really? Tom! Everyone, say hi to Tom. He's one of our best members. He's always here. Well, being in a situation where you're forced to immerse yourself in whatever it is you're learning surely makes things a lot better. And there's Angel again with alien language. And Baker is obviously going to get pissed off. Oh yeah, I thought I told you not to say anything. And I think Tom left. And here we are going to be introduced to one of the fan favorite characters, Maeda. Some Japanese scientists, I think, couldn't understand his English too well. He was raving about some might or something. He says it's coming over here. Dude, this game's awesome, man. It's so awesome. And I need to adjust this headpiece with certain frequency on my chair because I'm kind of tall. Oh, Dr. Clump, one of the biggest assholes of all time. I'll bring the car around. Meet me at the front. So now we'll head over to the museum. And yes, this is the world map. As you can see right there, New York. The chair is making some strange noise. And no, then the exposition begins about mitochondria. And Aya calls it, that's odd to have a PhD and be working in a museum. I mean, you can tell. Something strange. Well, he's pretty antisocial and doesn't like to waste time outside research. No, he's a dick. And I have proof. Yeah, be careful. Don't go spilling the beans. Don't be stupid. And this type of transition is going to happen a lot. Not a lot, maybe this game isn't even that long. It's gonna be like 5 or 6 times. Okay, what time is it? 8 o'clock. Actually, 8:30 p.m. where I live. Whoa. And it's funny. I remember when I was young. Jurassic Park had come out, and it was all the rage among the kids. Everyone loved dinosaurs. I never give a fuck about them. Oh, 1:33 a.m. Hmm. What's up, Monkey? Yeah, I mean, it was fun on the technical side. I loved the movie because it was jaw dropping, but I've never been a dinosaur type of guy. I've always been, I've always looked to the future, to machines, technology, flying cars, robots. No, actually, first we just want to talk to them, but then, in like 3 minutes, we'll want to kill them, but we won't be able to because we're cops. And hey, Maki, how was life in Hawaii, man? Seems like a beautiful place to be in. Whew. Dinos are no more. Smart ass. I did. And you know what? I really want to make a video about this game that's a little longer than what I usually go for. My reviews they tend to sit in the 12 to 15 minute time. I'm sorry, wheelhouse. But if I can make it to 20, I love that. And Clamp is clearly inspired on Gendo Ikari, Shinji Ikari's father. Ergo, he needs to be an asshole. And, just listen to the keyboard. He's always writing the same thing. Really, Maki? Oh, that's disheartening. And Aya's gonna have another flashback because she has seen Dr. Clump. Okay, she had a bit of a cloud strife moment there. I know she blacks out, but still standing. And we can see that Dr. Clump has the social skills of a giant squid. Meth. I've heard it go by that name before. And we can clearly see that this man has jerked off to mitochondria more than once. Just read this. You know what? I'm gonna read this the way Klomp is saying it internally. Parasite? That's an interesting way of describing this most fascinating creature. We cannot live without the mitochondria, you know. Do you understand? I love them. Yeah, he's that stupid. You know, this exchange of glances says everything. You know, this guy's lost it. Thanks, Angelo. Yeah, true, true. Well noted. And this is, you know, where he clearly has a hard-on going on. For a human to burn and melt, 1600 degrees of heat must be generated. There are several hundred mitochondria present within a single cell. If all the mitochondria... Okay, Angelo. Have a good one. The signal is initiated by the mitochondria. Oh well. Just say it, you know, say it. Your father didn't love you. That's why you do this. You know, say it. Mommy and daddy didn't love you. I'm actually going to read about this. You know, in 1987, it was stated that the root of all mankind could be traced back to a single woman in Africa. This finding was announced around the world. I'm going to see if this is true because there is some science, some science behind this game. And Maki, how did you end up in Japan? Okay, so we're back at the NYPD. And it's pretty hilarious because the background is scrolling so fast that it looks like this guy is going at like 400 kilometers per hour. It's almost light speed. So now we are heading back to the station. Big M word. What do you need? What do you mean? And what you just heard is a note I left myself for a possible upcoming video. Oh, I see. Wow, man, from Hawaii to Japan, you must really love her. Fuck! So now we're gonna have another meeting, but it's gonna be internal, so no press. Are you happy in Japan? Do you have kids? And now we're gonna see something which, was telegraphed, so to speak, in Melissa's diary. Today is the day for her grand solo concert at the park. Oh, let's go. To your family and happiness. And Maki, listen, I'm gonna ask you something because you live in Japan and it's hard to get news from Japan. But surely you know the singer Gakto. And he, lately he hasn't been really well. Actually, it's been quite a few months. He has some sort of neurological disease, and we haven't heard anything from him. But since you're living in Japan, do you know anything? Because I'm really concerned for the guy. I love him. He's one of my favorites. So Daniel actually rushed out because his boy has gone to Central Park. He wants, it's kind of cute and a little tragic and a little sad because he wants to make a surprise to his dad. He wants his mom and dad to be together again at the Central Park concert. Okay, another mod permit, which I will not waste on those shitty weapons. And yes, in case you're wondering, this is one of those games where you can play a huge portion of them with a single hand. And even though they are the comic relief of the game, you have some serious exchanges between them. And you can see that Torres is absolutely correct in what he says. But you can also see that there's something off about Torres. You know, after all, Wayne is a cop, but he seems to be blinded to it. So there's something else going on with Torres. And the other holding another controller. Sup, Chico? How was work? No, 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 no. He's not the one from Gray. He was from Malice Miser, and then he went solo. He went solo like in 1996 or 8. Oh, I see. What do you work with? So I'm gonna store my mod permit. Don't want to waste it. You know, it's weird calling an M16 a flimsy weapon, but in here it is. All right, I got a tool. Mm, yeah, I don't see myself getting any relevant weaponry at the park. You know, that would warrant me wasting a tool on him. So no, it stays. Oh, that's okay. You know, I was just asking the off chance that you knew. Fuck, man. I really hope he makes a comeback. I really hope he recovers because, you know, he's one of the greatest. Greatest. And you know, Central Park, of all places, at a concert for Christmas. You know, there's gonna be a lot of people there. More CGI goodness. And what I like about cars in old CGIs is that, you know, they don't function like cars at all. Well, it looks like she wants to gather people in one big area. So you can, you know, this is some really big foreshadowing. You know what's going to happen. And Daniel's kid is at the park. And then you're going to see something weird. You know, it's pretty much like me. Whenever I try to enter a church, Daniel's gonna burn. And he wishes to save his son, no matter what the cost. Daniel, here's the thing. If you go, I'll miss out on the gameplay. I paid $10 for this game, so you're fucking staying. Fuck you and your son. yeah, Daniel. Things won't be exactly too hot for Lorraine. Actually, they will, but in a very bad way. I think I could check the trunk of the car. No. Let's see what Warner has to say. They went up in flames. What's going on in there? Why don't you enter and find out? Harry rushed in there without listening to Daniel, and Harry's no more. Crispy Harry. Oh, I can check the trunk of this police car. And it's funny because they tried making it look like the trunk of a police car, but it's just a gray chest. Okay, so we did a lot of talking in the last, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and now it's time for some action. I love this so much about this game. All the build-ups you get, they are not as if you were like revving up your engine. Things start off pretty hot, pretty intense. It's an escalation of events. And if you really want to grind in this game, then the Central Park is one of the best locations for you to do so. Because it's gigantic and you're going to face a lot of enemies, and the chances of you getting battle, even at lower RNG probabilities, are still, somewhat decent. But we won't be doing any of that. Which is funny because, when I was younger, I was almost compulsive in terms of grinding. I remember playing Final Fantasy Tactics in 1990 something, and I remember that I was still like on the second map, but all of my characters were like at level 80, But nowadays I'm not so much of a grinder. That came out terribly wrong. I meant that as in grinding for experience. Please, YouTube, do not mess with me. Yeah, my throat's getting real dry. And this is a habit of mine. Whenever I'm streaming, drink water. Things a grenade. Oh, P8. And the P8 is a firearm you get in Parasite Eve 2. Freudian slip. Good thing you showed up. I like you. Freudian slip. Good one. Level up. And listen, on your first playthrough, actually, in any playthrough, you will find a lot of junk. But I don't recommend getting junk pieces on your first playthrough at all. Because what's going to happen is, once you reach the X round, which is basically New Game Plus, you'll be able to acquire super firearms from Wayne by delivering a set number of junk pieces to him. But it's like maybe 200, 300. And the real problem, then, you could think, well, then I should start right now. But the problem is that your inventory is very limited when you start. As you level up or invest BPs, what's going to happen is you're going to get a bigger storage space. And also on the subsequent playthroughs, you'll also be very, a lot stronger. Your weapons will be better. So the M203 has the... Yes, I think it's the flame property. Let me check. Heat effect. And this isn't exactly useful. It only works on like 1 or 2 enemies. It's only effective on a very few enemies. What you really, really want to go for is the ice property. And here we have a couple of boomerang throwing foes, or just 1 and 2 crows. Nope, just 1. Come on, there we go. Fuck. And one of the reasons why I want to mod my PlayStation 3, which is what I'm using to play, is that I want to be able to run PlayStation 1 and 2 games right out of it. Yeah, Medicine 1. Don't really need it. So if I get in here, we're gonna fight some snakes, and maybe I think there's an armor up. I think that's it. And this was also one of the, I'm gonna say, first games in the PlayStation 1 to actually make use of the analog sticks. Really good stuff. Yeah. Alright, 1 medicine 2, useful. Cure poison, situational. And I'm gonna drop the medicine 1 for defense 2. Ape escape! It was a funny game. Ape Escape was a funny game. It's not usually the type of game I'll go for, but, I played it for a little while. And you have all of the ambientation, you have the noises of the birds. Really, how can someone not love this game? I'm gonna try and force a few more battles. Let's see if I can look out on the RNG. Because, if possible, I like to have the energy shot before we reach Day 2's boss. Yep, not happening. It's not a skill I really need, but you know, I like having it around. Yeah, so medicine 1 goes tools. Never, under no circumstance, leave a tool behind. Unless you have the super tool. Yeah, we're gonna get 2 crows and... Oh, I thought it was a plant. Will I make it in time? Yes. No. Level up. So, you know, we have detox, so why the fuck would we carry the cure poison? There's no need. So, cure poison goes. And I'm gonna spend, for the sake of speed, I'm gonna spend my bonus points on item capacity. I had 17 slots, now I have 20. No, so each point probably gave me a slot. It was just so refreshing playing this game back then. You know, you got to move around the places where you fought actually mattered. As in, you know, if you're in a standard JRPG and you start walking, you're in a corridor, you're in a grand hall, you're in a fucking waterfall. The fight's gonna be the same. Oh, I almost died. So, no. Junk stays. And we are gonna heal. So I'm gonna go with the special vest, the end protector goes. And listen, ideally, what you want to do with those items is not discarding them, but instead storing them. Because, you know, later on you can take some of their attributes and, you know, transfer them to better vests. And, you know, if you pick one very specific vest and transfer the attributes from every single other vest, you'll find then what's going to happen is, you know, you're gonna overlevel. You're gonna have one very powerful vest. Same goes for weapons. Dude, this music is so soothing. Medicine 2, yeah, medicine 1, I'm just gonna use it. Gonna expedite a few things. Two snakes. One for you, and you as well. Alright, level up. There we go. This is another very interesting aspect this game has to offer. Its leveling up is very well balanced, as in, you know, you won't need... Oh, that was so smart of me. You won't need exactly, you know, a whole lot of fights to level up. At least, I'm gonna say in the standard level threshold. Yeah, so I'm gonna switch things around. I'm gonna delay this fight's conclusion because I need to heal. And Maki, you mentioned Ape Escape. You know what? I may stream it. Alright, bait and attack. Nope. Oh, not the one I wanted. One of these days, I'm gonna find a mod for Parasite Eve that lets me have a confrontation every single time I enter an area that I know is gonna have combat. Come on, come on, come on. Nope. Whoa. All of the animals have escaped. Whoa, it's 9 p.m. over here. But you know what? You guys earned it. I am gonna finish this day still on this part. Other than Eve, well, I was gonna leave this for a video. Oh, wait, I think we're being assaulted. No, just kidding. I was gonna leave that for my top 10 favorite PlayStation 1 games. And this could change when I'm making the list for the video, but from the top of my head, let's see. Parasite Eve 1, Xenogears, Final Fantasy, I'm gonna say 8, then, oh, Persona 2. Let's see what else. Parasite Eve 2. Resident Evil 2 and 3. Well, Final Fantasy 6 came out on the PlayStation 4, but the release doesn't count. It's a re-release. Well, I suppose Einhander as well. You know, the only shooter Squaresoft ever made. Fuck, Metal Gear Solid. Jesus. Ooh. What else? Final Fantasy Tactics. Dude, I'm having so many brain farts. Yes, it is Nightmare. They'll never forget it. And, well, Final Fantasy IX was a really good game, too. I also loved a fighting game called Star Gladiator. Not a whole lot of people know about it. What about you? What's your top 10? And Nightmare. Maki asked my favorite PlayStation 1 games. So if you'd like to chip in, as anyone else watching this stream, fire away. I want to know. Yeah, so you know, this performance was mind-blowing. Literally. And this scene, it's kind of funny, and I'm gonna tell you why after it runs. So I ask you, why are you doing this? And then you again, but you are too late. You will not ruin my plans as you did last night. And then Aya says, stop. And until you click the button, she's gonna remain stationary like, stop. Aiming at no one. So, how you guys doing tonight? Let me hear you. I just bought this gaming chair today. It was easy to assemble, and I have died and gone to heaven. That's the best way to describe it. Motherfucker! I'm mad. I forgot about Symphony of the Night, Chrono Cross, and Legend of the Dragoon. Thank you, Nightmare. God, Chrono Cross was one of the most elegant games I have played in my life. And as a matter of fact, it's strange because I only beat it once. And it was one of my favorites. Oh, I also like Grandia 1. Mad. Just the other day, I told you that I had a Wiltal sitting on my desk. He's kind of dirty, but he's still here. There you go. In his standard battle pose. I'll just leave him. Nah, he's gonna fall. Wait, did I mention Xenogears and my favorite PlayStation 1 games? Because if I didn't, then I must be starving. I'm starting to hallucinate and forget important things. Now we're gonna fight the big bear. This guy can kill you. Oh, I see. Dude, I heard they're gonna release the Weltal id version. Have you heard about this? Oh, you guys can't really see me. You like Voltoms. You like Voltons. Fuck! Wow. Which one, Jones? Voltoms is an old school anime series about robots. But it wasn't exactly in the super robot genre, such as Raideen, Voltus, Combattler V, Dan Cougar. It was more in the real robot subgenre. And unlike, Gundams, which were very realistic, I'm not going to say very realistic, but, they tried being more realistic. The units in Voltoms, they were, pretty much akin to the mechs you see in Front Mission. As a matter of fact, I think we could, clearly say that Front Mission, derived a lot from Voltoms. Dude, I have a perfect grade Banshee sitting in my backlog for like 2 years, maybe even more. Maki, I have an alternate version of how Macross should have gone. You see, it begins, and then as soon as Minmay starts, she is hit by Roy Fokker. Fokker, not Fokker. He hits her with a volley of rockets, and she dies within her very first 2 frames of apparition. This would have made Macross so much better. And listen, hang on, I think I can reach it quickly enough. Just a second. Favorite story? Piece of art. Combat was somewhat flawed, but it was beautiful. Alright, Jesus, help me not to knock this pile of gunpowder. There we go. Okay, it's a little dusty. Oh, no one left. Let me just wipe this clean. Mad Matt, you mentioned Gunpla. I have Osmus's fighter, his Valkyrie. It was a gift from my brother, actually. Legend of Legaia. Legend of Legaia was a very interesting case because it had interesting mechanics with, you're pressing the directional inputs to combo attacks. But I remember it just being way too hard, needlessly hard. You had to grind like shit. But I do remember enjoying the soundtrack for the standard combat. And what about Evangelion? No one likes Evangelion? Yes, exactly. Vagrant Story was... I think Vagrant... Actually... and I don't think many people would disagree with me on this. Vagrant Story was the prettiest PlayStation 1 game we ever got. Bar none. But yeah, the combat was kind of, Akira was amazing. It really was. Or I'll do you one better. Mechtroidvania. Yeah, let's not sell this to anyone. Yeah, but come to think of it, why hasn't this happened yet? Metroidvania with Max. I mean, come on. Okay, got another tool. Let's see how many slots I... Okay. 3 free slots. That's good. I see. I see. Well, the thing with Evangelion, to me, is... it's hard for me to relate to Shinji as a character. When I was younger, I saw, oh, he's all doom and gloom and stuff, okay. But, after a while, it became hard to relate to him. I began hating him as an adult. And about the whole religion thing, I think what happened with the original Evangelion. Actually, I know it is what happened. It derives a lot from people's own interpretations. I'm not saying it doesn't have anything pertaining religion, Christianism. It does, but I'm going to say developers, but the writers themselves, they said that a lot of the Christian themes, Catholic themes they used, were because they thought they looked cool, nothing else. So yeah, there's a lot of extrapolation coming from the fan base. The combats and mech design were amazing though, and I really loved the last Evangelion movie. I hated most of them. I thought they were goofy. They were trying to be edgy, to pander to a new generation that likes more flashy stuff. But the problem is that every Evangelion has never been about that. Nah, I disagree. I disagree. The anime has some really good moments. Okay, you mean in terms of criticism towards religion, right? I mean, that's the only way we can be connecting those two. So if that's the case, then yes, absolutely, absolutely. No, they're not even the same time zone. Omega Boost Chico! I love you, man. I did. It was one of the few actual PlayStation 1 mecha games that didn't suck. And listen, for all of you who clearly love mecha anime, then there's this anime you need to watch. It's called Rahzephon. It's a bitch. I'm gonna try and spell it out because I don't really exactly remember it. I think it's Rahxephon. Oh yeah, but they're clearly unrelated works. They're just very small snippets. I mean, fuck man, Weltall is God Gundam. From that garbage G Gundam. And the Alpha Weltall is the Master Gundam. And of course, it's not Regress. I forgot Elhaim's gear's name. Virge. It's the Noble. Rahzephon is amazing, brother. It's like a good version of Evangelion in the sense that you don't feel like killing yourself after watching it. Really, really good. No. I mean, Get a Robo Armageddon, it's in an entirely different wheelhouse. This comparison doesn't work. Rahzephon has never been an Eva ripoff in my book. I mean, it did draw heavily from it, okay? We cannot lie, let's be honest. But it had so much personality, man. So much personality. Hey, Dad. How you doing? True. Yeah, like I said, you know, we cannot pretend that Russell Eflin didn't draw from Evangelion. It did, heavily. And have there been any good mecha anime out in the recent years? Because I'm so out of the loop. The last good anime, mecha anime I watched was the Gundam movie on Nafti, you know? Fuck! Way more likable. Way more likable. And that's the thing, you know, you can empathize with him. Now, granted, you know, Shinji was a different type of character and blah blah blah, but I mean, when you make a character that's that problematic, that's that depressed about things, you know, you're limiting your demographic. I'm not just saying that, you know, only depressed people will like him. No, but you know, if you're more of an upbeat person and you know you're not exactly into such a dark place, then it's hard to connect, you know. The drill, oh, it was that, god, it was so stupid. It was actually cool. It was that robot that had that huge V on his chest. Megaton Musashi, I never heard of it. Dudes, I mean, how awesome is this? I am streaming Parasite Eve 1 and discussing mecha anime with my audience. I wouldn't have thought about this in 1,000,000 years. Gurren Lagann, exactly. Jones, yeah, I mean, there are some moments that I can really relate, not relate, but empathize with Shinji. And overall, not much. But there are some really good moments. And I like the fight against Zarwell, the final angel he actually fights, you know, he invades Nerve. You know, the angel breaks in Nerve's headquarters. And Shinji fights like a fucking beast. It's a very short fight, but I think the beauty in that fight is that it's so raw, it's brutal, and it shows Shinji actually being a man. And no, I'm not demeaning, you know, I'm not trying to play the macho card, but coming from, you know, a kid who had so many doubts about himself, about, you know, had clearly parental issues, father issues, to be able to stand up for himself and fight like a madman, that was really cool, really amazing. Well, Matt, you see, when you go pro, you know, it doesn't exactly work that way. I wish I already was at the point in my career where, you know, I could be like Angry Joe and just stream whatever the fuck I want and people would come and watch. You know, there's certain things I still need to follow, but you can bet your ass I'll be bringing you some mecha games. Yes, most of the short-lived show. But, you know, it doesn't take the brilliance out of the fight. Okay, let me actually pay attention to the fight. We have people watching. There we go. And also, you know, since we're talking about badass battles, you know, who could forget Asuka's fight? I think it was in the second movie. It was the Death and Rebirth of Evangelion. I always mix the movies' names up. But that battle where she ends an ungodly amount of mass-produced Evas, I mean, it was brilliant. I hate her, but the fight was brilliant. And since we're all mecha heads, then what's her favorite Gundam arc? You can only choose one. Tough one for you. And the good thing about me asking first is that I have time to think. Jones, really? Dude, if you like mecha anime, then you should. And Matt, I have so many Gunpla that I need to finish. You have no idea. You mean SDF? Chico, see you later, my man. Always a pleasure. You too. Yeah, you know, the thing with Gundam is that, you know, besides some really stupid arcs like G Gundam, it's that, but you know, even then, I can understand what they tried doing with G Gundam and Zeta Gundam to an extent. It was much more rooted in reality, but I'm not gonna say as in terms of technology, even though one could argue that to a certain extent. What I'm gonna say is that, you know, before Gundam, all we have, you know, you guys got me started on Gundam. You're screwed. You know, you shouldn't have done this. And you know, the thing about Gundam was that it brought about the real robot subgenre of robot anime, and with this, not only we got a little bit more realistic battles, as realistic as they could be in an anime, but also, you know, the fights, they were much more visceral. There was a lot more drama. There was a lot more intensity to them. For example, if you've ever watched Mazinger Z, you know, by today's standards, it's silly, it's stupid. You know, it's even dumb by today's standards. And the real robot genre came and changed everything. Universal Sanctuary Master Race. Yes. You see forever. Forever. Yeah, I'm not doing so hot. Yeah, let me just heal up. And Zeta Gundam is, you know, Jones, if you start with Zeta Gundam, then, you know, you get a very clear picture of what I'm talking about, because Zeta has some really depressing moments, but I'm gonna say that they're more natural than in Evangelion. Evangelion, you know, it was centered around that theme to an extent because of Shinji, but Zeta had some really depressing moments, as you would have maybe in real life. Yes, Double O, one of my favorite arcs ever. Hands down. IBO, I've been watching IBO. As a matter of fact, I have a partially built Lupus standing right over my shelf. Gundam X was really good too. I mean, you can say really, really good, but it was entertaining. Maki, what do you mean with SD? You mean SDF? Yeah, so I'm not doing so hot in terms of MP, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch vests. Yeah. I mean, you cannot go wrong with Katoki Hajime. You cannot go wrong with them. I have a few Verka units. Gunpla. I have the new Gundam. I'm looking at them right now. I have the new Gundam, the Banshee, the V2 Gundam, which was a clusterfuck to build, but it's gorgeous. And yeah, I think the Crossbone too. Yeah, I know. What did you guys think about Hathaway's Flash on Netflix? Oh, down by one. Hainu Gundam. I have the Vrape, which is pretty much Hainu, variation of the Hainu. But yeah, I want the Verka of the High Noon. Hands down, absolutely. Even though, you know, it's changed quite a lot from the original new Gundam vibe. Which is a funny thing because the original design for the new Gundam was the High Noon. Okay, to no one. Think I'll make it? Yes, I thought I was gonna off him. Alright, I think there's this and another one. Yeah, same here. I mean, it only had one battle. No, actually, it had many battles. And one of the things I really enjoyed about Hathaway's Flash was that we got more cockpit cameras. You know, I absolutely love that. Wait, do I have haste? Dude, I'm so underleveled. You guys have no idea. Maki, have a good day. Get him some Gundams. Mata. Reloading now, are you? Really? Okay, so I need to switch my vest. So I can get my MP bar regenerating again. You know, Matt is a very dangerous man because what he says is the truth. But it's a very dark place. You know, once you start collecting Gunpla, you won't make it back. You will not. Do not try and fool yourself. Oh, I'm only buying one. No, you're not. Especially if you like it. You know, it's like I say, man, half the fun of building Gunpla is having a backlog. A huge backlog. Oh, just in the nick of time. Barrier. I think I have never been this under level for this part of the game. Dude, that's awesome for the Switch. Alright, I got a lot of stuff to stash. A lot of defensive. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6 points. That's a lot. Yeah, so I'm just gonna reload. We're approaching the last battle of day 2. And dude, Dad playing Sever, calling it Dad may sound like Dad. You know, DAD. It's weird. Sever, D, that was such a joy to play, man. Such a joy. My video on it didn't, do exactly very well, which left me kind of baffled because I was sure it would. But, nonetheless, amazing game. Which Onimusha? Dude, if you're gonna start throwing names, then you're in for some heavy competition, because I know all of those. Dunbind would be amazing. I just don't know if it would be an easy sell, for modern day audiences, but it would be good. It would be really good. Iga-san is a huge mark for Dunbind in a very big way. What do you mean? Yeah, I really shouldn't be covering my mouth during a stream. Dude, Onimusha, Onimusha 4, Dawn of Dreams, is hands down, I think it's the ultimate PlayStation 2 game. It's one of the very, 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 very few games I'd go as far as calling absolute. Yes, there is. There's an anime, and the Record of Lodoss War. The anime was inspired by, I think, D&D sessions or something like that. Yeah. Okay, a better wording. Now it makes sense. The Mechatroidvania genre. I don't really know if he would be able to pull such a project. Actually, he would be able to, of course, but I'm talking about a business standpoint. But, someone else definitely could do that. I mean, we did get that front mission on the Super Nintendo, the Japanese exclusive, which over 10 years ago got a fan translation. But calling that game a Metroidvania would be way too generous. Way too generous. And a lie. And you know what, dudes? I would never expect to discuss mecha anime during a stream. You guys rock. Better than DMC3. Hey, that was a good game. What are you talking about? Gun Hazard. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I better heal. Eve, you bitch. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna change heal again. And then change vest. Yes. Okay, good RNG. She's playing ball. I like that. You know, I'm not changing anything. I'm killing this bitch. Shit. Bye, Eve. Bye, Eve. Thank you. And listen, to all you mech fans out there, there's this game. It was called something Project Mirai. If you've ever played Another Century's episode, especially the third game, and then the Gundam Unicorn game, which was an evolution of both Ace 3 and Ace Portable. We pretend that Ace R never existed for obvious reasons. Then, it's a game it's a mecha game that draws heavily from the Another Century's episode games. Really good. And okay, we're about to end day 1, and for day 2... Where the fuck is it? Too far. We're about to end day 2, and for day 3, we will be entering the police precinct. It's gonna be hell. Is there something wrong with it? Nah, it's good. Checking on my chair. Yeah, I don't see that happening, unfortunately, because, Armored Core 4 was amazing. 5 sucked. They made some very poor decisions. But 4, beautiful game. Oh, so it was a question. You missed the question mark. Then... Listen, comparing them as games, and this is the reviewer Belmont speaking, is unfair. It's ungiven and it's inaccurate because they are different games. Okay, you want me to argue? Well, okay, both have swords, but the gameplay is entirely different. That's the same as comparing Ridge Racer and Gran Turismo. Different things, but as a whole, in its construction, in attention to detail, attention to graphics, content, with the Hellgate challenges, number of characters on disc that you had to play, then, I'm going to say that Onimusha 4 was the better game for technical aspects. Armored Core 4 was amazing. And here in game, we can see that Ben was trying to connect his parents. Again, only Lorraine entered the stage. She went inside the Central Park, and Daniel didn't. And Lorraine isn't coming back. Yeah, Matt. I think I'm with Jones on this. From Software is never gonna make another Front Mission game. I'm sorry, Armored Core. It's very, very unlikely. I mean, unless they allocate a secondary team. In that case, it can happen. But as for their main guns, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, but that's a very iffy card to throw. Especially when developers go big time. So everyone's evacuating, getting the fuck out of the city, and the police is gonna try and defeat Eve. Oh, I am. I am. I'm taking it with a whole pile of salt. But at the same time, I can both empathize and understand your wishes. Seeing a new Armored Core game would be amazing. Imagine that Armored Core PlayStation 5. Who wouldn't want that? Fuck, now I want that. I hate your Matt. And this is actually one of Parasite Eve 1's saddest parts. And, for those of you who've played it, you know why. There's more to Dark Souls than that, but good one, good joke. You guys are too much. Listen, I'm not gonna say I would buy a PlayStation 5 just because of it, but I would hate every single PlayStation 5 owner. And they try to evacuate the city, which isn't exactly going very well. And what you're about to see here is some first class, S rank police. How can I put this? Police response. Watch this. Watch this, really. Tactical make RPG by the name of Relayer. I'm gonna have to check on that. And I'm gonna, very poorly translate what's being said here. He's saying, "Hey, you're Japanese." Just a little. 誰ですか? Who are you? And then, we have racism. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. And you can see how well the police are responding to their fellow policeman burning. I don't know if they're trying to to block someone from kicking a ball past them, or if they're doing some sort of shamanistic dance, or I don't know. How about shamanistic football? Could be a thing. Oh, Nightmare, you're there. Well, not in movies or games. How's the volume level for you guys? The equalization between my voice and the game. Is it still good? Is the game a little bit too low? It can get a little bit quiet sometimes. And this is one of the most random things I've ever seen in game. Maeda finds Aya on the street, and he just finds somewhere for her to sleep. He just finds it. It's there. Oh, really? The museum. I mean, you mean when you fight in the museum? Because that was like day. I think it was day 5 or 6. Pretty end game. And I also love how Maeda decided to light a fucking drum can on an enclosed space. They should both be dead by now. And he's a fucking scientist. Oh, dude, you're very close to the end. You're very close to the end. And listen, I'm not gonna make it to disc 2 today. Okay, it's 10 p.m. over here. It must be 8 p.m. where most of you guys live. In the U.S. And yeah, but I'll try to think of something. Maybe I'll just live stream the whole thing, and if you're not here to watch, then it'll be saved for later. All right, Jones, thanks. And Nightmare, which that was a real shame, because the T-Rex gives you the best firearm in the entire game. And if I'm not mistaken, this piece of dialogue derives, I'm not going to say directly, but I'm going to say substantially, both from the movie and the book. Both go by the same name, Parasite Eve. Really interesting. It's just a shame what they did to Maeda in Parasite Eve 3. He became a creep. So on the first disc we have the police precinct, Soho. Yeah, I think that's it. We had the police precinct, the Soho, and the subway. I think we have those three locations left, and the hospital. Yeah. I mean, Matt, if you take the third birthday as a game, okay, it does get, I'm gonna say gets a good pass. I mean, it sucked in a few ways. I mean, the amount of weapons they gave you was pathetic. You need to be on some severe, hard drugs to actually be able to make any sense of the story. Aya was voiced by Yvonne Strahovski. She's a really competent actor, which was a plus side. But, you know, pretty early into the game, you stop caring about the story because it's all edgy bullshit. The gameplay was kind of solid, though. Oh, really? Oh, I see. I think this next chapter is my favorite part in the entire game. The destroyed police station. I think it's my favorite area. Dude! Now we're talking. So, my top favorite mecha anime. Well, Gundam 00 is up there. I really like the synergy among all pilots. Rock really, really good, really decent. Gundam Zeta, of course. It's unquestionable. Let's see what else. Votoms, of course. That the opening song is amazing, and I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna put Raideen into the mix because I think it's one of the most brilliantly designed super robots out there. Raideen is scary. Raideen was fucking scary. And, the Getter Robot I'm sorry, Get a Robot, the Shin Get a Robot, the whole ordeal was really amazing. It's one of the funnest robot animes to watch because it's so stupid that just watch and then have a good time. Pretty much like porn. And as for Macross, I really want to put Macross into the mix, but the problem with this fucking series is that they have to shove in, those stupid love affairs. Nothing against love. Love is awesome. It's good to have people to love, but they come so hard on it. It's way too heavy-handed. So some really combat sequences will sometimes get lost. In the middle of a lot of teenageish, if it gets to be teenageish, love quarrels. So it's kind of hard to put Macross into my favorite robot animes. I did like Macross Zero though. And what else? Well, there's Evangelion up to a certain extent. I think when I was young, I absolutely, it was one of my favorite mecha animes, but as I grew older, it began getting hard to actually see anything deep. And for example, Gendo Ikaru's motivation, he's just a lonely, petty, and childish man. That's all he is. For all people try and say about him, that's all he fucking is. But yeah, I'm gonna chalk it up to Zeta Gundam, Double O, Votoms, Rock Zephin, and I think that's it. What are yours? Alright, so that was it for day 2. Leisner was amazing. Really good choice. Really good choice. Oh, how could I forget? There's this. Yeah, I'm getting tired. My English is going to shit. There's this anime which came out on Netflix. Was called Knights of Sidonia. The first season was really, really good. Does anyone know if that series ended? I mean, and I remember it had season 2, but I don't even remember finishing watching it. All right, so now we will begin day 3. So I've been streaming for 3 hours, and what I'm gonna do is, it's 10 p.m. I'm gonna take a break, stretch out, freshen myself, have dinner, and stretch my back, and then I'll return so we can do at least 2 more days. Okay, I should be back in like half an hour or 40 minutes. All right. Yeah, Knights of Sidonia was really good. So thank you all who stuck with me for the duration of the stream. I will be back in 30 or 40 minutes or so we can clear 2 more days, and I'll see you pretty soon. Don't go anywhere. And I hate Double Zeta with all of my heart. Balmont out.